So we are back for another review, guys, and we have a very interesting IM today. This is the TriStar River. As you can see from the title, this is unmatched in versatility, especially for the price that you are paying for. So $60 gets you a whole package of this. That's actually usually seen in more expensive IMs, and we're gonna talk about that in this video. So first is the package, guys. So for $60, you are getting a case, very nice there. You're getting very nice build quality as well. So it's resin plastic, but it's the nicer quality resin plastic. You're also getting two sets of tips, and the other tip is much like a Moondrop spring tip, which is definitely sought after. So maybe it's an inspiration for them, but it definitely feels good in the hand. I would say though, I still prefer the Moondrop spring tips over this, but this is still no slouch, especially for the price that you paid for. And also getting a cleaning cloth as well, and also what seems to be a SIM eject tool, because this has switchable modes, guys. So for $60, this is the first time that I'm seeing something like this, because this also exists in the TriStar C, and now you're getting it in the $60 price point. So this is one of the few things why I think this is unmatched versatility, because that switches gives you 4 sounds here. So you're getting a more bassy sound, you're getting a more balanced sound, you're getting more vocal-centric sound, and also a more maybe fun sound here. So 4 sounds in one for $60, definitely nice on that. And of course the cable, nothing to write home about, but definitely better compared to some other KZs. It's a bit more shiny compared to that. Actually, in terms of the overall shape, this is a very safe shape, guys. So it's much like a Moondrop type of shape. So there's no fins here, which might be good for some people. It's quite breathable, and this will fit more ears. Let's say not the most stable to the ear, but still fairly stable. And of course, because of that ear hooks, this will stay in place, guys. So for me, the design is very nicely done as well. So as you guys can see, the Tri logo is centered. So actually this looks like maybe a more expensive IM, because the TriStar C has similarities in the overall look. So it does feel upscale here. And as you guys can see from the side, there's no fins, but the shape is not that big of an IM. So it's in the medium side of things. It's not small, it's not the biggest as well, but a definitely usable size here. So yeah, it's not super big. It's not as big as your maybe KZ-A16 Pros. Those will be bigger. So this is a very safe shape here. So yeah, overall build quality, what comes in the box, exceptional here for the price you're paying for. But yes, let's go to the sound. So yeah, for me, in terms of the sound here, this is unmatched versatility for the price, because this is the first time that I've seen something like this in this price point, having that 4 switches. But looking at the signature here, guys, it has some similarities to the TriStar C here. But this is a bit more maybe fun TriStar C. So you're still getting that maybe sub-bass elevation. You're still getting that 12K, but the 12K here is a bit more elevated compared to what you're getting with the TriStar C. And also the 726K as well is a bit more elevated compared to the TriStar C. So this is a bit more fun TriStar C. So this reminds me sometimes of the TFZ Live 3. So maybe kind of marry that together, having the TriStar C and the TFZ, marry them together. You're gonna get this kind of sounds. It's something like in the middle of that. And what's really interesting here is this has dual driver configuration. So beryllium driver in the base region, 10mm, and 6mm in the top end. But you're getting titanium drivers here. So actually, that titanium drivers gives this a bit more detailed retrieval compared to what you're getting with other dynamic drivers, which is definitely a big plus here. So that dual dynamic driver configuration, again, something that I haven't seen in this price point, and having that titanium driver as well. So very interesting here. So actually, some people do not prefer a BA setup. So if you want a bit more detail, a bit more micro detail, but you don't want to go to BAs, this might be the good maybe middle point for you in that regard. So yeah, in terms of the sound signature here, this is more of a V still. So there's 4 modes, right? But we're gonna talk about the balanced, because that's I think the standard in terms of the signature here. But this is still a more V type of shape, and the bass here is quite big for me in the mix. Not quite blonde big, not quite TFZ big, but still quite big. So this is a bit faster compared to the TFZs of the world, which is definitely very nice. And because of that beryllium driver as well, it's a very impactful bass here. It's a very fun bass here for me. There's some slight mid-bass bleed there, so this might not be for those who wants neutrality in your life. For bass heads, this will pass for bass heads for sure. But definitely this is for those who likes that bigger bass for me in the mix. Not quite TFZ, but very much near there. So for bass lovers, you will like the listen here. And what I like about this over your TFZs and blondes is this is a bit faster bass. For me, it's a bit more maybe punchy bass for me compared to those other IEMs, compared to the TFZs and the blondes of the world. So yeah, if you're looking for big bass but you don't want that bloat of the blondes and sometimes the TFZs as well, again, this is a happy balance for you. But definitely, yes, for me, the bass is the highlight of this IEM. And going to the mids, so mids is fairly clean in the presentation, especially for a dynamic driver. So it's a fairly bright presentation, fairly clear presentation, but it's in the cleaner side, so it's not the most lush, most smooth vocal. So I would say even for the vocal setting here, you won't buy this for vocals. So I still prefer the arias of the world, starfields of the world for vocals over this. But what I like about this is there's no hotness for me inside here, so it's not an aggressive vocal presentation, and it's still quite clear here for me. So vocals is no slouch, but not as good as your arias. And I'm going to the top end here. So top end has some similarities again to the Star C, but this has more 12K for me in the mix. So because of that, this is actually very extended on top. So for some guitars or some acoustic guitars as well, the picking technique just shines in the mix. So for some guitar monitoring, this will be nice because of that. And what I like about this is even if you have that 12K for me in the mix, it's not an overly aggressive presentation, maybe because of that more dynamic driver presentation here. So it's not overly aggressive still, but again, you're getting that extension on top here. So cymbals, this is the weakness for me, so it's still not the fullest bodied cymbals because of that 12K presentation, and it's quite peaky 12K as well. It gives it a bit more maybe thinness for me in the cymbals than what I like, so it's not the most natural top end here. So definitely that's one downside. So maybe typical chi-fi 12K there for me on top. And yeah, that 7K elevation as well gives this a bit more maybe life. So again, for some guitar tracks, this will be nice. So for the top end, I actually like it a bit more compared to the mids here. So yeah, because of that, maybe elevated presentation, a bit more extended presentation. And what I like about this over your usual maybe TFZs, blondes, and maybe even moontrops is the detail retrieval here is a bit better. So it has a bit more maybe impactfulness, so the sound a bit more detailed retrieval compared to those IEMs. So yeah, for guitars, again, for that picking technique, for that maybe distortion, it will shine a bit more compared to those IEMs. And I'm going to the sound stage, medium stage here, not the biggest that I've listened to. And going to imaging, very good here actually. So yeah, they were able to come up with pretty good positioning for the instruments here. And going to separation, not the best. So this is kind of like in the middle. So it's not the most smooth, it's also not the most clean presentation. So it's kind of like in the middle. I wouldn't use this for some mixing work, some mastering work. And this is also not the most maybe warm presentation that you can listen to, not the most smooth presentation. So something like in the middle here. And I'm going to detail retrieval, so definitely better compared to some other dynamic your normal dynamic drivers, but this won't beat out your multi-driver systems in this for the detail retrieval. So it's a happy center for me for the Tri-Star River. So let's talk about the switches here, guys. So when I gave my feedback on the sound, it's mostly on the balance or natural sound signature, but we're going to talk about other signatures as well. So I'm going to the bass boost. So I listen to the bass boost, and it's definitely, you know, very nice for some hip-hop electronica tracks. So I listen to some Kanye West. It brings out that bass, that thump that you're looking for hip-hop. So for bass lovers, you would want that bass boost for sure. And even for the pop setting as well, the bass is really shining here as well. So I wouldn't use it for, of course, more critical listening. So for the critical listening, I would go for the more natural setting. But if you want fun in your day, definitely go for that. So actually, the bass boost kind of rivals. It's a very blonde sound, let's say. So kind of rivals that. So that's nice that you have that option here. You have a blonde sound ready for you to go. Just flip a switch. And going to the vocal-centric setting as well. So actually, this is my second favorite. Because it brings up the vocals a bit more. So that's why I didn't talk about the positioning, the vocal positioning, because you can change it on the fly. So for the normal setting, the natural setting, yeah, the positioning of the vocal is a bit more recessed, but you can choose to go for the vocal setting. It brings out the vocal a bit more. It makes the vocal have more air in the presentation, a bit more upfront presentation. So yeah, definitely for female vocals, most especially for some Adele, for maybe some Eric Clapton's, some male vocals, you would want that vocal centric presentation, and it brings down the bass a little bit in the mix, and that brings down the top end as well. So yeah, pretty good in terms of the presentation there. Maybe just one con for the vocal centric presentation is for some tracks, it might have a bit more air than what I like, that it becomes maybe a bit shouty to listen to. So watch out for that. And going to the pop, which is more of a V type of shape. So definitely, yeah, more of a TFZ Live 3 sound there with the pop. So it brings up the bass a bit more, and it brings up the top end a bit more, makes it a bit more monitor, fun type of sound. So yeah, it will depend on your preferences there, but it's nice that you have that switches. You just switch on the fly, just carry your switch tool, and you can just change the sound on the fly. And that gives it a whole world of versatility for just one IEM. First final verdict in this, so I haven't reviewed IEMs for a while, but I'm really happy that this is the first IEM that I reviewed, because there's a lot of things going for this, and it has a unique selling point, and that is what I'm looking for IEMs. You should have a unique selling point to sell to the market. And yeah, this has tuning pegs, tuning options for $60, and that's definitely a unique selling point. First time that I've seen something like this in this price point. Having that nice build quality, that nice package, you're getting that case, you're getting that pretty good cable, you're getting two tips as well, and that sound as well, very workable sound. It's like the Star C meeting with the TFZ Live 3. So if you like the Star C and you're okay with having a more fun sound, and yeah, this is just 1/4 the price of the Star C. So yeah, I do think for the price, very, very much worth it here. Actually, I do think for first-time buyers, this is a very, very nice first IEM, because you're getting different sounds here. So some other people have a big collection already, but for those who just has one IEM, this might be the one to start everything and just test out the different signatures here, and maybe find the perfect preference for you. If you like more bassy, like more V, like more maybe vocal centric type of presentation. So very nice for first time buyers here. And also for those who's looking for bass and a bit more fast bass as well, TMZ type of sound but a bit more fast, consider this as well. If you're looking for a dynamic triverse sound but you want a bit more maybe micro detail compared to some other IEMs, do consider this as well. And if you're looking for maybe a Star C type of sound, but if you don't have that budget, Star C budget, this is a close maybe second to that. So yeah, definitely recommend it in the channel. Very interesting IEM, especially for $60. Thanks to Keep Hi-Fi for sending this over. Links down below for their shop. That's it for me. If you have any questions on the Star River, let me know also down in the comments below. That's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt review. Bye-bye.